Hey, hello there. Welcome to the next video on function model. This video is going to be very interesting because in this video we are going to learn a very important topic of function that is known as recursion. Okay, now most of the students fear about recursion. I don't know why, but it's very simple and it's very important topic from your placement perspective, as well as if you're planning for higher studies, then also this topic will play an important role. So let's quickly get started. Let's try to understand what is recursion, okay? And then let me give you one simple examples by which you will remember the concept about the recursion. And then after this example, after this real life example, we will switch to the coding example, okay? So the example that I'm going to give you today is going to be an algorithm for searching a girlfriend. Okay, so let's try to write an algorithm to search a girlfriend. All right, so let's go to the whiteboard and let's try to write some steps, some common steps which usually boys follow. So let me just define a function. Let me name it as function. Let me name it as search. Okay, this is my function search underscore gf. This function will be used, or this function is basically the wrapper for our algorithm that we are going to write for searching a girlfriend. Okay, now what is the first step that usually boys do? They usually go to a site or application like Instagram and they start sending some random request to some random girls, or maybe the girl who they already know. Okay, so the first step is going to be send follow requests on, let's say, Instagram. Okay, this is going to be the first step. Now the second step is going to be they will have to wait until the request gets accepted. So wait till request gets accepted. Okay, so they will have to wait until the request gets accepted. Now once the request gets accepted, maybe out of 100, maybe one request will get accepted. Alright, doesn't matter. So once the request gets accepted, they will start sending messages to the girl. Okay, so I'll write start chatting. Okay, and initially I will say start normal chatting. Okay, so start normal chatting. Then after few days they will start flirting. So let me write start. Okay, then they'll do a whole lot of stuff, okay, to impress the girl, and finally they will propose. So this is something that, or this is the basic cycle that boys will follow to propose a girl. So they will send follow requests on Instagram. See, it's not always going to be Instagram request, but we are just taking an example just just understand. Okay, and finally they will propose. Now here is the interesting thing, or here from this point our topic is going to start, that is recursion. Okay, now once they propose, there is, I will say, 90-10 chance, okay, 90 of getting rejected and 10 getting accepted, or it might be 99-1, or it might be 99.99 and 0.01. Depends on your profile or how you are. Okay, now if you get accepted, if the girl accepts your request, she likes you, then in that case what we are going to do? In that case we will be happy if you are an ideal person, if you are in not that category where you want to have 3-4 girlfriends simultaneously, but if you are an ideal person, then in that case you will stop. Okay, so here I am writing one condition, that is if the propose gets accepted, come out of this function because the search of girlfriend is done. Okay, so I will say return. Return basically terminates the function, right, in C++. I hope you remember this. So when you will say return, that means you are terminating the search and you are done with it. Otherwise, I mean, if the search if the proposal doesn't get accepted, what you will have to do, you will have to start this process again, right? You will have to do this entire stuff again on maybe other girl, And for this, what we can do is we can call the same function again. So again, I'll write here that is search underscore gf. Okay, see, if the proposal gets accepted, you will return from here. Okay, so once you return from here, the function gets terminated, you will come out of the function. But if this doesn't happen, I mean, if the condition of the if statement is not true, then what is going to happen? You are not going to return from the function. In that case, what I'm doing, I'm calling the same function again. I'm again calling search gf function. So again this function will be called, and again you will execute the same body. Again you will check whether the propose gets accepted or not. If it gets accepted, you will stop. Otherwise you will again call the function. You will keep on doing this until your propose gets accepted. This process is called as recursion. So what is a recursion? Recursion is basically when a function calls itself, it is called as recursion. So whenever a function calls itself, it is called as recursion. Okay, in this case you can see that we have search gf function, and in the search gf function body we are again calling search gf function. So this is called to be an recursion, or this is called as recursive call. Okay, so whenever any function calls itself, it is called as recursion. Now in recursion, what is going to happen? We have a function, the function is calling itself again. Okay, so the same function will again execute. Now if this keeps on happening, just imagine, let's say if I don't write this if statement, okay, if I don't write this, so now what is going to happen? You come to search gf function, you search girls on Instagram, then you send them requests, then you start chatting normal, then you start flirting, then you propose, and then again you are calling the same function. So you are again repeating the same thing. Again you are calling the same function, again repeating the same thing, again calling the function, again repeating the same thing. This is not going to stop. Okay, this will keep on repeating. This is very similar to the infinite loop. Okay, so this function will kind of go in infinite loop, or this will go in infinite recursion, and this function will keep on calling itself again and again. That's why whenever we write a recursive function, the very important part of a recursive function is going to be base condition of the recursion. I'm again repeating, let me write it over here. Whenever you write a recursive function, the important part of the recursive function is going to be your base condition. Now what is the base condition? Base condition is going to be condition. It is going to be a condition which will identify when to stop a function. This will help to stop a function. So whenever you write a recursive function, always try or always think of writing a base condition or base statement, because if the recursive function doesn't have base condition, then the recursive call will be infinite and it is going to be of no use. You will keep on searching girlfriend for your entire life and you will never get success, right? So it's like that. So whenever you write a recursive function, there should be always a base condition. Okay, so I hope you have got this example. I hope you will keep this example in your mind for your entire life, that what is a recursion and how the recursion basically works. So whenever we have a function which has some body, and when the function call itself from its body, then in that case we can call it as a recursion. Okay, and to recursive function to be successful or to be useful for us as a programmer, the function should terminate at some point. Okay, it should terminate at some point, and that termination condition is called as base condition of the recursion.